More!
Good food has a way of inviting stories, and stories have a way of inviting new perspectives and empathy. Sometimes there's an unspoken honesty that comes with sharing a meal with family. But what happens when you sit down to eat with your mom or dad, not as your parents, but as people, as friends? Two people from different generations, each with one question for the other. Join us for some good eats and quality time with Mom and Pop.
Hi, my name is Zhuang Fang, and today I'm going to be eating with my dad. I would say that I have a very special relationship with both my parents, and as an only child, I always made sure that I never picked favorites, but my dad, he brings out the artistic side in me. And I think that that was the thing that really bonded us and still rings true today. Like, I feel like he's the type of person who I can go to and talk about good things and bad things, and he accepts them for what they are. He's always trying to think of the best solution for me or the best outcome or the best scenario. And so I think over the years, we've really become more like best friends than we are parent-child relationship. Today we are at Mei in Arcadia. This is a restaurant that I've been going to for decades probably at this point. It's a family favorite. They specialize in Cantonese food, so it's, I think for my family, for my parents especially, it's a little bit of a taste of home. This restaurant creates a lot of classics that my parents grew up eating and that their parents grew up cooking as well. And it was always like a really easy way to get quick food that was really, really good. My dad is not the biggest food person. I love food, I love trying new restaurants, and I think that my dad enjoys the experience of going with me. This is such a classic staple because he's such a practical person that he's just like a bowl of rice, you know, some veggies, a side of meat, and this煲仔飯 that I ordered is exactly that. 一個臘味煲仔飯，跟住咧，可唔可以俾多一個豉油啊？冇問題。就係咁咯。I'm really excited about the question I'm going to ask him, and you know, my dad and I have a lot of sit-down conversations, but they're always kind of in passing, so it'll be really nice to sit down, have a lunch with him, you know, no distractions, and just really talk. So we have a very special lunch today.
Good.
Something very exciting.
Okay. I wonder what's in it.
Okay, so I ordered 煲仔飯 from Mei
Okay.
because it's a staple in our house, and it's a dish that everyone in our family always really enjoyed.
Right.
And I feel like even after we would travel, like the first meal that we would want to get when we came back was always Mei. So I wanted to have that be our meal today.
Excellent choice. 煲仔飯、乾炒牛河, all these are traditional Cantonese
Yes.
food. I like it. Yeah.
Oh.
Right. I think since we moved to Arcadia, I lost count for how many times we eating this 煲仔飯.
Did you grow up eating 煲仔飯?
Not really, because when I was a child, 煲仔飯 is quite expensive. You know, most time we just eat at home. Thank you.
Okay, let's eat.
Okay.
Really
It's pretty good. 味道幾好，唔錯。
唔錯，唔錯。
The bottom part of the rice is called 飯焦. Actually, it's my favorite when I was a child. We eat the 飯焦. Sometimes if it's too hard to chill, you can put some water on it, and then it have a special kind of a香味. It's very good.
So does it bring back memories of your childhood? Like to eat the 飯焦 and like what that was like? Did you have to share with your siblings?
Yes, you know, we grow up. I grew up in a family. I have a brother and sister and my parents, and we enjoy life together. So this is good memory. Yeah.
Are you ready to answer some questions?
Yes, sure.
Okay, so this first question is the one that you wrote for me. And this one's the one. Okay, Do you want to go first or do you want me to go first?
You go first.
Okay. So you wanted to know, what is your favorite thing about our relationship? There are a lot of things that I really like and appreciate about our relationship. But I think the thing that kind of holds us together is our appreciation for life. I feel very lucky that a lot of the joys that I find in my life are similar to the joys that you have in your life. And I remember growing up, you always taught me to appreciate the colors in the sunset, you know, the veining pattern on a leaf. Like, it's all about like the little details that really make life special and worth living. And I think through a lot of these conversations and appreciation for art, we've learned to understand where the other person is coming from. You're the one who always tells me, write down, you know, journal more so that you can remember these phases in your life. Or when you show me a poem, you always tell me to read it more than once because, you know, you want me to get that really in-depth feeling of what the author is trying to say. And I think that this is something that I've kind of carried out through a lot of the relationships that I have in my life. And I like that we can talk about anything. I think usually in parent-child relationships, you know, each person feels the need to kind of only say the good, right? Like, Dad, look, I got an A, or, you know, look how well I'm doing and things like that. And you the same, I'm sure. But I think as I've gotten older, I've learned that it's those difficult conversations that really strengthen our relationship. I think as a child, I always wanted you and Mom to better understand me, but as I got older, I realized that as much as I wanted to be understood, I wanted to understand you guys as well. And I think I finally reached a place in my life and our relationship where I know where you're coming from, and we can have these like honest conversations, and we can have different opinions, but still have a very thorough talk.
I'm so thankful for your feedback, really. I always try to know what I try to do to you, but I don't know what's your reaction, what's your feeling about that. This is great feedback from you, because I born in China, and then I adapt to the Chinese tradition. The parents usually have absolute authority to their children. One of my aunt told me, you know, in the countryside in Quzhou, children were praying, you know, brother and sister, they praying each other in the big house. And then when they hear my grandpa was walking through a hallway, everybody ran to hide. And because he was strict and really serious. For me, especially after I came to the US, you know, I learned American culture. I want to have a closer relationship with you, with an open mind and open dialogue, over open conversation with you. I want you to know me, and I want to know you too.
Okay, now it's your turn to read the question that I asked you.
Okay, now the question is, what was the biggest challenge in raising me? Wow, this is really a big question. There's a difference between the perspective of your career. You're born in a family with a lot of medicine because your mom was a doctor, ophthalmologist in China. Now I'm a doctor here. Your mother's parents, actually, they are medical doctor too, and they are my professor in medical school. And as you know, your mom and me are classmates. I really enjoy medicine because there are two ways. Number one, I have a good job. I can support myself, support my family, and also I can help people. And I enjoy every minute, especially working at UCLA after I finished my residency as a faculty in teaching, as well as a medical doctor helping people. I enjoy every minute. You know, I strongly feel like, if possible, you should go this route for your career. But you have your own opinion and you have your own passion, but you're a good girl. I have to admit that. You try. For me, medicine seems like the only thing I know more about it. I don't know about business. I know you have a passion in entertainment. I think there's a lot to do with Zhuang Fang because you worked for Zhuang Fang for a couple of years. And also you have master's degree in business, and then you want to take that role. And then for me, not necessarily have to give up the hope that you may do medicine. You're still young, you still have a time to think about that. But I do feel like I have to learn. I need to start over again in terms of my thinking. How can I adapt to the change in terms of my expectation, my perspective of the career you choose for yourself. That's why when you come to us, you say, when you finish your master's degree in business, you come to us, you say, Daddy, Mommy, I want to go to New York. We fully support you. I think it's time for you to explore your opportunity. I'm so glad you went to New York, you find your job, and you're doing great. Now, that's one thing. I thought while working in a company with a stable job, stable income, I'm okay with that. But when you move back to LA, you say, Daddy, Mommy, I don't want to look for a job right now. I want to start my own company. Wow, that was a surprise, because starting a small business is very, very difficult, especially close line, because competition is very tough. I remember you mentioned, say, I work in the office, so many girls, they have a hard time to find their clothes to be kind of formal but comfortable. There's not many options in the market, and you want to do that. I'm not regret for every minute or for everything you have done in the last 2 years. Be honest with you, I don't think I can do it myself, really. I'm impressed. And also, I found that the challenge it didn't stop when you change your passion for your career. For example, you have the podcast show, Perfectly Imperfect. I say, what are you guys going to talk about? But you did great for that. And then also you do other things, TikTok, and then it becomes kind of a TikTok sensation. I was kind of surprised. I'm so proud of you.
Thanks, Dad. That means a lot to me, because I think I always try to make you guys proud, and I know that me not going into medicine was not exactly the path that you had planned for me, but I'm really grateful for the support that you and Mom have given me all of these years. And yes, you still have the, oh, you're young, you can still go into medicine. But I think the amount of support that I've gotten over the years, like I wouldn't have been able to go to New York without you guys. I wouldn't have been able to start my business without you guys.
While sitting here looking at you, the most pleasing thing I feel, releasing feeling, is you are happy. I think that's most important as a parents, to support you, make sure you're happy for what you're doing, and also capable to do, and fulfill your ability or talent. I would say you do have talent. I hope you can continue to do that, and then I'm sure you'll be successful. You'll be successful, very successful.
So the question for the both of us today is, what is something you recently learned from each other? I think a recent lesson that I've learned from you, especially during the pandemic, there weren't as many things that we had to worry about. And I know that that's due to you and Mom's hard work to give me and you guys this very stable life that I'm very, very grateful for. one of the things that you've always taught me is just to appreciate the things that are in front of us and to recognize, you know, even though we're at home, like there are things that we can still enjoy. And like in this digital age of social media where it's always a show of, you know, what restaurant you're going to, where you've traveled to. And, you know, I've fallen into that category too, where I really like to, you know, go out with my friends and things like that. But when we're stripped down to the basics, you just really showed me how to appreciate life within our own, you know, the walls of our home. And I think that life is about those little moments, you know, that you can either appreciate together or just appreciate just for yourself.
Thank you. That's very, very nice for you to say that. I would say two things I learned a lot from you during the pandemic. You know, I didn't pay attention to media before. And then during the pandemic, there's so much information, correct or incorrect, but you seem like you have an inside-out knowledge for that. And when I ask you a question, you always is able to explain to me. And then I learned a lot from that. And to help me to understand the world. And that's something I was missing before. The second thing I learned is during the pandemic, I know you get bored and then you went to a nursery, you bought so many plants. You are able to tell me the exact name, something like a Latin name. It's fascinating. I can't remember any name you told me for all the plants we have. Probably we have like 40, 50 plants.
No, well, there's a lot.
Oh, there's a lot. And that's why I want you to put a name tag on each of the plant, and then we can appreciate more.
Well, thanks for doing this with me today. This is really fun, and I'm glad that you're able to share so many stories and your life philosophies. I've always admired you for that. I always said that you're a very patient person, and you have very strong morals. And I always love hearing your perspective on life and what you have to say, how you view me, how you view our relationship. Because I think on the day-to-day, you know, we talk every day, but to be able to sit down and hear what you're really thinking, like, it's very special.
Well, I have to say, you not only did not disappoint us, actually you are out of our expectation for what you have done in your life. Really, we're so proud of you.
Thank you.
Did you tell them?
Hey everyone, as you can tell, I'm not at the office, I'm at my mom's house, which is very fitting because I hope you enjoyed that last episode of Mom and Pop. I know, it's the last one. You see, the 3 episodes that we made were part of a pilot series made to explore new shows and concepts for the second channel. Creating the show was extremely meaningful and very relevant for the Asian American community, especially now. I want to thank the Siddharthas, the Moon, and the Fang family for being part of such a special project. Being able to listen in and learn and share your conversations is exactly the positivity we wanted to show. Now, just because Mom and Pop is over doesn't mean you can't keep sharing these videos with people that haven't seen them yet. And maybe you'll be encouraged or encourage others to have those conversations with your own family as well. The more views and feedback we get only help us in deciding what to create next. Also want to give a big shout out to our Zhuang Fang careholders for their ongoing support. If you're interested in helping Zhuang Fang create more shows like Mom and Pop, please consider joining our Patreon. Well, that's it for now. Thanks for watching.